Right, we're going to use putty to build the Klipper Mcu firmware for your V6 Chitu board. I need to put in the IP address of my Raspberry Pi. The Pi will build the firmware. Mine is that. Yours will probably be different. You will need to go into your router's admin page to find it, or app on your phone, whatever you have. SSH and open. Pull the window into the middle. Log in as Pi. These are all default passwords, you can change them. Raspberry with a P. And the first time you see this, it may ask you to click yes or accept for a key. You do that, you go yes or accept, whatever one it is. Now we type in CD space squiggly thing, don't know what it's called, backslash forward slash whatever it is, Klipper. It puts you in the Klipper menu. And let's just get Google up quickly. Type in up the top, Klipper install, there we go. Klipper installation document, that's brilliant, so we need that. Scroll it up. We only need that, and that. The first four, 1, 2, 3, 4 things. That is wrong. It says USB 2. That is wrong for us, maybe not for others. So, open another tab. We need Klipper config. So if we type in Klipper printer V6 config, brilliant. Now look, 2019, just click it. That's for the x5sa. We're not doing, it would work, but just to be fussy, I'm doing it from printer, but that's for the V6, so that's the non-pro. Luckily they got all the bits in that you need. It's the same, they're basically the same board. They use several boards in the x5sa, the Pro, I think the xy-2 can use this board. Anything that's got a V6 board in, basically. But if you go back to config, examples, generic, you don't want to go past generic, do we? Printer, that's it, we want to go to printer. You scroll right down, PPI, Tronxy. You've got all the X2, X8, X5sa, which is the non-pro, and the Pro. Doesn't really make any difference. It just says 330, 330, 400. That doesn't matter, you could change that to 400, 400, 500. Tronxy Blue, it also includes the black in that, so don't, you know, this is out of date. Stock Titan extruder, so that means that's the dual gear one. So if you have a single gear, it would run backwards, so you would have to change it. Also, this V6 motherboard is the TMC2225 drivers. Right, so we'll need some of this in a minute, but this serial is correct. Look, it says USB and there's no 2. USB serial, and again USB serial, USB serial, and bootloader and chip. That's all the stuff you need to know, and then this little bit for making that. Everything is there, all the info you need to build it is there. So putty back up. So we type make menu config and wait, and there we go. Cursor keys and spacebar and enter. So enter will open it. Cursor keys, spacebar puts the X. You want that one. Spacebar it. You want the top one, F103 spacebar, you want the spacebar, X, we'll take it, yeah, and interface, serial. A lot of the YouTube videos say USB, it's not, it's serial. They do USB via serial. So even though you're plugging a USB in, it's converted on chip or whatever, or inside on the board. So it's basically you plug it in as a serial and get USB. I think Creality Enders do it the same way, from what I remember. And that's everything done. So just go back over that, yeah, there, STM32, F103, 34 bootloader offset, and your serial. So we press Q for quit. It didn't give me any changes. It should have, if I'd have changed anything, it would have said, do you want to save? You press yes, and it will save it. So now we just type, because I'd already preset it up, there was no changes. So we type make and wait. This will take a minute, 2 minutes to compile the Klipper bin firmware. It will tell you when it's done. So we just sit and wait. So if I just move this over a bit, we're now going to use this command here. So we highlight that, and this runs a script to turn the bin file into an update CBD. So you can just put it on your SD card and flash. Copy. After that, generate that, put update on the SD card, reboot printer, 2 beeps, you lose your screen will go, so you can unplug it if you want, and you will update that way. You will then only be able to access via a web browser. The web browser must be on the same network as your Pi, and you type in your IP address, so it'd be like 10.0.0.7, which is mine, and that'll get it up. So we'll put Putty back up. It's finished. Yep, created hex file, Klipper at bin. Copied and pasted that. Now just hit enter, and this will be really quick. Done. All it's done is just change, put a small little bit on. I think it's about 5 kilobytes to allow it to do it. Sort of like a loader. The bootloader looks for this, finds it, flashes it once type thing. You shouldn't flash it a second time if you left the card in. So now what have we got to do? We've done that. Right. WinSCP. This is, so we've got a Pi there, look, 10.0.0.0. You just put in my workspace, you put in whatever thing it is, log in. It'll ask for password, Pi and that. Password Raspberry again. And there we go. You don't need the ELF, you need the bin, so it's download. It's going to save it to my documents. You can take the bin, because if you're up, you can't do an update CBD. You can always flash the Klipper bin with STM32 programmer, STM32 programmer. If the update CBD doesn't work, and you also download that, download. Okay, they're in my documents. So Klipper update. Close. Close that. I'm sure you want to close. Cancel. No, we don't want to close. We're going to do installation Klipper. There we go. We're just going to do this bit. We haven't done this, have we? Copy. That back up. Just run it in the Klipper folder. I think you can run it outside the Klipper folder. It doesn't matter. and it will give you, this is what you want to copy into Notepad++. Don't use normal Notepad, it's very good for mucking up any form of configuration file when you save it. Notepad++, as in the plus signs, you type it into Windows. That is your USB port. Note the USB serial, and on there it says USB 2.0 serial. So if you copied that, that wouldn't work, and that's where a lot of people go wrong, because people follow this blindly without doing the stuff. So that is yours. You may get something different. It could be 01, port 1, I don't know, but that's the generic default USB on a lot of cheap Chinese boards. So save that. You've got your Klipper bin and you've got your update CBD. So we'll just check that they're there before we go anywhere. Documents. Klipper bin 22, very small. Update CBD, which is Klipper bin with a little 5 kilobyte thing tacked on, so it will flash it basically. It sort of checks the Tronxy bootloader checks this is there and then runs it once, and it's like once it's been done once, it shouldn't do it every time, but you delete that off your SD card. So now you'll put that on an SD card, put it in your motherboard, turn it on, it should beep twice and you should lose your screen. That means it's flashed Klipper. If not, you will have to use ST32Q programmer to flash Klipper bin. Or you just look at one of my other videos, the Tronxy bootloader fix, and use that, and then just use that. And that's where I'm going to end for now.